The foster daughter my father brought home when she was little has gone astray. Even though during the day, I painstakingly taught her about the core values of capitalism. Every night she would sneak into my bed, place her black stockinged feet on my face, her voice wild and unhinged. "You bad little brother. Who do you love the most?" After that, I ran to find my best friend to strategize. Under my best friend's encouragement, I confessed my feelings to Elena Harper before the college entrance exams. But she coldly rejected me on the spot. In the end, my dejected mood caused me to fail the college entrance exams. And my parents kicked me straight out of the house. Meanwhile, my best friend, thanks to the good guy image he'd always cultivated, married my Elena. When I opened my eyes, I had been reborn to before the college entrance exams. Even though I had already decided to confess, I let out a bitter laugh. This life, I don't want to suffer for love anymore. I just want to study hard and get into Yale. Live a free and unbridled life. With half an hour left before the college entrance exam, my stepsister found me. "About yesterday, I'll pretend you were just joking. Focus on your exam now. In 2 months I'll be waiting for you at West Point." I turned to look at Elena Harper in her military uniform. Her beautiful face cold and distant. Slim waist and long legs. Feminine yet radiating confidence. Seeing I wasn't saying anything, she frowned. Only then did I snap back to reality. Hurriedly picking up my pen. "It's almost time. I need to go take the exam." Elena Harper was stunned, not expecting the younger brother who always clung to her to act so casual. I ignored Elena Harper's scrutinizing gaze. Caught a ride to the test center. Starting over. I don't want to chase after Elena Harper anymore. Then drift through life aimlessly. This time I must seize the opportunity. Pass the exam successfully. Get into a good university. Live my own free life. When I finished the exam and walked out of the testing room, the sun was about to set. Reporters waiting outside surrounded us, competing to interview this year's test takers. I was about to dodge them, but a microphone blocked my way. "Lucas Mitchell, we heard you were rejected after confessing yesterday. Did it affect your exam today?" Before I could answer, a lively figure pushed through the crowd. It was Andrew Chen in a white shirt, with short hair. "Stop asking. Lucas failed at confessing before the exam. He's in really bad shape." Those familiar words rang out. Unpleasant memories flooded back into my mind. In my previous life, everything that happened to me was caused by this best friend. The leak about my confession was Andrew Chen's doing. Getting kicked out by my parents was also Andrew Chen's fault. Then seeing Andrew Chen smugly standing next to Elena Harper, I finally understood Andrew Chen did this because he also liked Elena Harper. And my tragic life was paving the way for Andrew Chen's love story. Starting over from scratch, I pushed aside Andrew Chen, who was about to speak, calmly facing the reporter. "There's nothing wrong with liking someone. Nothing wrong with confessing either. But these things won't affect my exam this time. I'm confident I'll pass, thank you." The sunset light shone on me at that moment. My shadow stretched long. I walked toward home. That was the harbor I had dreamed of countless times in my midnight sleep in my previous life. "Lucas is back." Suddenly a familiar, loving voice rang out. I looked up and saw Dad standing under the big oak tree, where he used to pick me up from school, waiting for me. Robert Mitchell looked at his son before him, hesitating slightly. "I heard everything you said to Elena yesterday. I didn't dare tell your mother." "You foolish boy. Elena is your sister." I looked at my worried father in shock. My heart filled with bitterness. In my previous life, when I confessed to Elena Harper, everyone criticized me. My parents were also caught in the whirlpool of public opinion, their hair turning white overnight. Watching Dad walk ahead, I quickly ran up and put my arm around his shoulder. "Dad, I mistook dependency for love. From now on I'll only see Elena Harper as my sister." Robert Mitchell's gloomy face finally relaxed. Father and son walked into the yard. Just as we pushed open the door, we saw Elena Harper standing right at the entrance. Dad patted my shoulder. "I'll go inside first." The slanting sunset illuminated Elena Harper's cold, ethereal face. We looked at each other, not speaking for a long time. After a while, I smiled and spoke first. Sis. My foolish words yesterday worried you, didn't they? I had a mental short circuit. I'm sorry, please don't take it to heart. From now on we're family for life. Elena Harper heard my calm, measured explanation, and suddenly felt angry inside. Yesterday he was holding my hand confessing. Overnight he's changed his attitude. Has he really let go of those inappropriate thoughts? Or is he retreating to advance? Elena Harper looked at me with a stern, instructive gaze. It's good that you think this way. The college entrance exam is a turning point in life. You need to focus on the right path. I kept smiling and nodding. Elena Harper took out an admissions brochure from her room, handed it to me, and continued. West Point's admission scores increase every year. You need to work extremely hard to get into your dream school. When I saw it was a West Point admissions brochure in my hand, the smile on my face stiffened slightly, but I didn't respond. In my previous life, I wholeheartedly chased after Elena Harper. So naturally I wanted to test into West Point to be closest to her. Then ended up not catching up to her and having a tragic life. Starting over was so difficult. This time I must firmly choose Yale, which I like. I watched Elena Harper's figure return to her room. In the end, still didn't mention wanting to change my college preference. After all, we'll each have our own lives in the future. No need to say it for now. I took the book back to my room, turned on the radio and started researching fields I was interested in. Only coming out at dinner time. The whole family hadn't gathered around the dinner table in so long. This was something I had yearned for in my previous life when I didn't dare come home because of rumors. Wandering everywhere like a beggar. Thinking of this, I felt a bit emotional. And lost in thought. What's Lucas thinking about? Didn't the exam go well? Mom put a piece of egg in my bowl, asking with concern. I shook my head with a light smile. No. It went very well. Mom immediately brightened. That's good then. You can get into West Point. Your sister works at a military unit there too. You can look after each other. I paused with my chopsticks. Mom didn't notice. Continuing. Your father and I are getting old. When you go to college the workload will be heavy and you won't come home often. With your sister there, your father and I can rest easy. The words stuck in my throat. I still didn't say them. After this summer I'll be 18. I can take care of myself. Don't worry, Mom and Dad. After dinner I wanted to help Mom clear the dishes, but was pushed to go shower early. Coming out of the bathroom drying my hair, I saw a familiar figure in the yard again. Elena Harper said calmly. During dinner earlier, you seemed like you wanted to say something. I paused while drying my hair. In my previous life, I followed Elena Harper like a shadow, while Elena Harper focused solely on her studies, only wanting to succeed and repay her debt, fulfill Uncle Harper's mission of defending the borders, basically not noticing me trailing behind. I didn't expect her to notice something was off with me this time. I smiled lightly. Nothing. Just thinking about leaving home makes me a bit reluctant. Elena Harper looked at this younger brother now half a head taller than her. Somehow, she always felt like she couldn't see through him anymore. I silently gazed at the stars in the night sky, afraid I won't be able to enjoy them peacefully in the future. My teacher once said, after going to college, your hometown no longer has spring or autumn, only winter and summer. The older you get, the less often you come home. Neither of us spoke again, falling into silence. At that moment Mom came out from the kitchen. Elena, the matchmaker came to see me today, saying she wants to introduce you to the Chen family's son, Andrew Chen. How about meeting him before you leave for your unit? Elena Harper was startled, then nodded. Sure, Mom can arrange it. Mom immediately smiled. Good. I'll tell the matchmaker right away. Arrange for you and Andrew to meet in a few days. That boy comes from a good family. If it works out, settle it. Then when you go to your unit, you'll have someone to take care of you. After Mom left, I watched Elena Harper about to leave too, thinking of Andrew Chen's vicious face from my previous life. I spoke up to remind her, Sis, Andrew Chen isn't as simple as he appears. When you meet him tomorrow, be careful and observe. Elena Harper frowned at me again. Lucas, you've really changed. Andrew is your best friend. Isn't it wrong to badmouth him like this? Elena Harper's door slammed shut. I stood there. In my previous life, how did I not notice? Elena Harper protected Andrew Chen this much. A wave of helplessness passed through my heart. Seems I worried for nothing. Well, whoever is by Elena Harper's side in the future has nothing to do with me anymore. Early the next morning, after breakfast, I checked my exam admission card and pen, then went to the test center. When the test paper was handed out, my tense face finally relaxed. I had tried predicting questions last night, unexpectedly got lucky and guessed right. This time I'll definitely exceed expectations. Get a good score. I smiled confidently, working diligently on the test. Time passed bit by bit. The bell to submit papers rang. All exams were finished. I walked out of the testing room stretching, my whole body completely relaxed. I returned to the village in good spirits. Just arriving at the village entrance, I discovered everyone was looking at me with strange eyes. After just 2 steps, harsh, insulting words pierced straight into my ears. That's the Mitchell boy. The other day he dared confess to his own sister. What school would accept this morally corrupt person? The Mitchell family produced such a shameless son. I'm afraid the ancestors' graves are in the wrong place. If it were my son, I'd definitely beat him to death. Some people are thick-skinned, disgracing our Phoenix village and still daring to stay. Hearing these words, my whole body felt like falling into an ice cave. I was back in the nightmare of my previous life. In my previous life when I confessed to Elena Harper. Overnight, the whole village knew. My mind went blank too. Losing all face. By the time I wanted to explain, it was too late with 100 mouths. Far too late, ultimately even implicating my parents in being cursed for not teaching their child properly. My hands clenched into fists. I turned and raised my head to face everyone, my voice booming. Uncles and aunts. Elena Harper and I have no blood relation. There's no moral corruption. There's nothing wrong with liking someone. It's just that I'm young. Momentarily couldn't distinguish between dependency and feelings. Now I've figured it out. Whoever Elena Harper marries in the future, I'll give my blessing. If you keep gossiping behind our backs, don't blame me for reporting you, charging you with slander. Everyone around was intimidated by my stern demeanor. All falling silent, I strode quickly home. Just entering the door, I saw Mom bringing dishes from the kitchen. Finished with exams, we can eat when your sister gets back. I took the plate from Mom's hands, casually asking, where did she go? Mom's face was full of smiles. Your sister is finally being sensible. Isn't she meeting Andrew tomorrow? She went to town to buy makeup. I listened quietly, feeling no particular emotion. The only unexpected thing was, Elena Harper valued Andrew Chen this much. When the last dish was on the table, Elena Harper also returned, carrying big and small bags. Why buy so much? Mom asked with a smile. Elena Harper answered, some are for you and Dad. Thinking I'm leaving soon, bought some things for you. This child, you just started working. You should save money for later use. Mom doesn't lack anything. I listened to their back and forth, never speaking, just silently, eating my favorite braised pork. After eating, I stood up to go to my room. Just entering the room, I saw on the study desk a photo of Elena Harper and me together. I looked at the two people smiling happily in the frame. Couldn't help remembering the past. Since Elena Harper was brought home by Dad, she was always very good to me. When I was 10, I got caught in the rain and caught a cold. Elena Harper used hot towels to bring down my fever. When I was 15, I got lost playing in the back mountain. Elena Harper searched for me all night, carried me home on her back. But later Elena Harper went to her unit. Our relationship grew more and more distant. And now Elena Harper is about to get married, start a new family. I'm also about to go to Yale for college. These memories will be forgotten. I suppressed the surge of emotions, took out a cardboard box from the closet, packed away everything related to Elena Harper, including the photo of us together. I set the packed items aside, planning to throw them away tomorrow. The next morning I woke up holding the cardboard box just as I opened the door. The door across also just opened. I saw Elena Harper had changed from her usual military uniform. Switched to a new dress. Looking at the items in my hands, she asked calmly, "What are you holding?" "Old study materials. And childhood toys. Planning to donate them to the orphanage," I answered calmly. Elena Harper nodded without asking further. Walking straight outside. Just reaching the door, she turned back to add, "Tell Mom later. I won't be back for dinner." I watched her walk into the yard. Then looked down at the box. At the face-down photo frame of us on top. My lips curved slightly. Elena Harper must not care much to not notice. This frame was our only photo together. After breakfast, I went out to catch a ride to town. Planning to buy some things needed for college. Walking from the north side to the south side of town, I searched several bookstores before finding books about Yale. Then passing by the pharmacy. Remembering Mom coughing last night, I went in to buy some herbal medicine and cough syrup. Looking at the items in my hands, I prepared to catch a ride back to the village. When passing a jewelry store, I saw two familiar figures, Andrew Chen and Elena Harper, walking out of the store side by side. "Lucas, what a coincidence," I answered indifferently. "Yeah. I came to buy some things." A flash of smugness crossed Andrew Chen's face. He continued smiling. "Elena and I had a successful meeting. We're getting married soon. You don't mind, right?" As he spoke, he kept turning his hand, deliberately showing off the watch on his wrist. I didn't look closely, still answering lightly, "I don't mind. Having decided to stay away from them. Everything about them has nothing to do with me." Andrew Chen was stunned, not expecting my lukewarm reaction. Feeling somewhat powerless, he forced a smile, deliberately saying to the woman beside him, "We'll be family from now on. Elena, your brother is my brother too." Elena Harper looked gently at Andrew Chen, nodding. I smiled without speaking. After what happened in my previous life, I already knew Andrew Chen's true face. This life I don't want any involvement with him. Nor do I consider him a friend. The smile on Andrew Chen's face grew clearer. "Lucas, Elena and I are going to buy other things. Want to come along?" "No, I'm done shopping, heading back first." I refused without thinking, got in a car and went home. Elena Harper watched my departing figure, her silent eyes swirling with dark complexity, but in the end said nothing. When I got home, I gave Mom the herbal medicine and supplements, then went to my room. Sitting at my desk, eagerly flipping through the Yale introduction book, attracted by this school's profound culture, not noticing it had gotten dark. Then came a knock at the door. I got up to open it. Seeing Elena Harper standing at the door, "I saw your light was still on. Why aren't you sleeping?" I answered softly. "About to sleep." Elena Harper looked at the distant boy before her, suddenly frowning. She noticed my attitude toward her had become considerably colder lately. This made an inexplicable irritation rise in her heart. She glanced casually, noticing an empty corner on the desk in the room. "Where's the photo frame on your desk?" I turned to look. Lies flowing out. Accidentally broke it before. Sent it for repair. For some reason, when Elena Harper heard this answer, the irritation in her chest eased. Then sleep early. Good night. She turned and went to her room. In my previous life I didn't dare lie to Elena Harper's face, because she always saw through it. But now my casual lies, Elena Harper didn't even notice. I smiled self-mockingly, then closed the door and went to bed. The following days, besides reading, I waited for exam scores. As for Elena Harper, she left early and returned late every day. Cultivating feelings with Andrew Chen. Days passed like water, until June 24th when college entrance exam scores were announced. Early that morning, I hurried to school to check scores. Just arriving at the school gate, a black car stopped. "Lucas Mitchell, you're here to check scores too?" I was about to avoid them when I heard someone call me. Turning to look, a pretty girl stepped out of the car, smiling at the corner of her mouth. Thinking for a moment, seemed to be Olivia Summers from my class. Olivia Summers's family was well off, daughter of a high-ranking official. But we hadn't talked much before. Weren't close. I nodded politely. Olivia Summers didn't mind my formality, naturally walking up. Let's go in together. We both walked into the teacher's office. When receiving the score sheet, though I had estimated my score, my heart was still a bit nervous at this moment. I steadied my rapidly beating heart, opened the score sheet, eyes looking down at the total score below, showing in black and white, 690 points. I finally relaxed my tense nerves. I had checked. Yale's admission scores from previous years were all around 670. This score could get into Yale. I thanked Teacher Wong, wanting to hurry home, to tell my parents the good news. I waited forever without a car. Fortunately, Olivia Summers gave me a ride on her way. When I got home and just got out of the car, I saw hand in hand Elena Harper and Andrew Chen walking out of the yard. I quickly averted my gaze, thanking Olivia Summers in the driver's seat. Olivia Summers still had a bright smile on her face. Lucas Mitchell, if you really want to thank me, come to my birthday party in 2 days. I forced a smile and nodded. After Olivia Summers left, I was about to go inside. Andrew Chen dramatically spoke up. Lucas, was that Olivia Summers just now? Are you two dating? She's famously fickle. Dating her probably won't end well. I frowned. About to speak, Elena Harper's lecturing voice rang out. Andrew's not wrong. Families like the Summers aren't on the same path as us. Have less contact with her in the future. Besides, you're still young. You need to be discerning. Don't casually fool around with people. Hearing her words made me very uncomfortable. I just got a ride home from a classmate. How did it become fooling around with others? What right does Elena Harper have to say that about me? I looked sideways at Elena Harper, words spilling out instinctively. Sis, I'm grown up now. Who I make friends with is my freedom. With that, I walked straight into the yard. Elena Harper stood there staring at my door, her face somewhat darkened. Not until Andrew Chen reminded her did Elena Harper come back to her senses. I didn't care about Elena Harper's reaction. That night I told my parents my score. Next was filling out college preferences. To avoid being discovered, I deliberately chose a day when Elena Harper wasn't home. Went to the school library to use the computer to fill out preferences. A few more days passed. I went to the library to return books. On the way home, I ran into Olivia Summers and her close friends. I had planned to greet them and leave. But Olivia Summers suddenly asked, Lucas Mitchell, want to go ice skating? Before I could answer, I heard her friends teasing. Birthday girl wants to go ice skating today. I just realized today was Olivia Summers' birthday. It wouldn't be appropriate to embarrass her. Just like that, the group went to the biggest ice rink in town. Seeing me standing frozen in place, Olivia Summers came over with skates. Never done it before? Don't worry, I'll teach you. Okay, I nodded. We changed into skates and went to the edge of the rink. Unexpectedly seeing on the other side Elena Harper and Andrew Chen. I was a bit surprised too, not expecting the usually serious Elena Harper to come to the ice rink with Andrew Chen to play. I greeted naturally. Sis. Olivia Summers beside me paused, following with a greeting. Hello you two. I'm Olivia Summers. Elena Harper coldly glanced at Olivia Summers, just about to say something. Suddenly music started playing in the rink. Those who were resting started skating freely again. The atmosphere instantly became lively. Andrew Chen excitedly pulled Elena Harper inside. Elena, it's starting. Let's hurry. Elena Harper swallowed the words on her lips. Could only passively follow Andrew Chen. I watched with a smile, and went to the other side with Olivia Summers. After all, it was my first time skating. I was still a bit scared. Could only let Olivia Summers hold my hand, slowly pulling me along. Olivia Summers guided me while skating, while teaching some key points. Under Olivia Summers' guidance, I gradually got the technique. Told Olivia Summers to let go so I could try skating alone. But discovered I had still overestimated myself. Just 2 steps after letting go, I lost control and was about to fall. Fortunately, Olivia Summers was quick, pulling me back. A moment later our bodies pressed close together, breaths intertwining. I felt a bit awkward, just about to stand up, when I spotted not far away Andrew Chen with both arms around Elena Harper's waist. Leaning down slightly, Olivia Summers saw my expression darken and asked, "Are you scared? Should we go rest for a bit?" I nodded, and we went to the rest area. Olivia Summers turned around about to ask what was wrong. But unexpectedly my skates slipped. My whole body lost balance, rushing straight toward Olivia Summers. Olivia Summers instinctively reached out to catch me. I instinctively wrapped my arms around her waist. Our bodies collided firmly, even closer than before. I could even feel her softness. My heart pounded hard. After steadying myself and about to thank her, Elena Harper's angry voice came from beside us. "What are you two doing?" Olivia Summers and I slowly separated, seeing Elena Harper looking at us with cold eyes. "Lucas Mitchell, you're embracing a girl in broad daylight. Do you know what you're doing? Do you have any sense of propriety? Come home with me." Elena Harper finished speaking and grabbed my wrist. My wrist throbbed with pain. "Sis, you misunderstood. Just now was." At that moment Andrew Chen beside us suddenly fell to the ground crying out in pain. Elena Harper's attention immediately shifted to Andrew Chen, bending down to ask, "What's wrong?" Andrew Chen held his leg. "Someone accidentally bumped into me just now. I think I twisted my ankle." Hearing this, Elena Harper immediately took off her skates, helped him up. "I'll take you to the hospital." Before leaving she only left me with, "Go home yourself." I stood there, seeing Andrew Chen turn his head to look at me, his eyes smug. I immediately understood Andrew Chen did it on purpose. But Elena Harper didn't notice. I also confirmed one thing again, in Elena Harper's heart. Andrew Chen would always be more important than me. 1 moment ago, she was telling me not to get too close to other women. The next moment she could directly abandon me for Andrew Chen, leaving me alone with another woman. Now she's suddenly not worried anymore. Back in my room, I just felt exhausted and didn't want to move, thinking of lying on the bed to rest for a bit. A man's voice came from outside. "Anyone there? Is this Lucas Mitchell's house?" I quickly walked outside, seeing the mailman, pushing his bicycle, stopped at the yard gate, holding an envelope. "I'm Lucas Mitchell. Is that my mail?" "Yes," the mailman said and handed me the envelope. I hurriedly tore it open, seeing it was the Yale acceptance letter. My heart finally settled. Everything was finally decided. I was in a good mood, and took a comfortable nap. When I opened my eyes I smelled the aroma of food. The whole family was eating dinner. Elena Harper had also returned. Mom asked, "Is Andrew okay? Nothing serious, right?" Elena Harper answered indifferently, "He's fine. Just a minor sprain. I already took him home." Hearing her words, I just ate quietly, saying nothing. Then Elena Harper continued, "Mom, Dad, the unit sent a letter telling me to end my leave and return to the unit early. I have to leave tomorrow." Robert Mitchell and Mom were a bit surprised, but nodded in support. Mom said with some regret, "It's just that your wedding plans with Andrew probably won't be settled in time." Elena Harper, for some reason, instinctively glanced at me, seeing me eating with my head down, unconcerned. Her heart suddenly felt blocked. "Let's postpone it. Doing it at the end of the year won't be too late." Mom and Dad thought about it and agreed. Elena Harper looked at me again. As if compelled, she spoke. "Your acceptance letter should arrive in a few days, right? Andrew also applied to West Point. You can go together then. Convenient to look after each other on the way." "Right, since you're both going to West Point. You can travel together." Mom and Dad chimed in succession. I thought about the acceptance letter I received this afternoon, hesitating whether to say something. Mom continued looking at Elena Harper. "Elena, when Lucas gets to West Point you need to look after your brother more. I'm worried." Hearing these words, I held a mouthful of rice in my mouth, but still didn't speak. Better not to make Mom worry so much she can't sleep all night. I'll tell them when I get there. The next morning the whole family got up very early, standing at the door to see Elena Harper off. Thinking about parting, I still took the initiative to say, "Be careful on the road." Elena Harper nodded and looked at me seriously, instructing, "You don't understand, Olivia Summers. You still need to be more careful in the future. Moreover, school is starting soon. You need to focus." Put more effort into studying. Don't fall behind when you get to West Point. I listened silently, neither refuting nor speaking. But Elena Harper kept staring at me, as if waiting for my response. I had to nod to get it over with. Yeah, I know. Let her think what she wants. I didn't want to say anything more. Elena Harper opened the car door about to get in. Suddenly Andrew Chen's voice came from afar. Elena. Elena Harper quickly walked over to support him. Your leg is still injured. Why did you come? You're leaving for your unit today. I came to see you off. I didn't interfere with their reluctant farewell. Turned and walked into the yard without looking back. Elena Harper, for some reason, suddenly turned to look at my retreating figure. Her heart suddenly filled with an indescribable restlessness, as if she would never see Lucas Mitchell again. She found it funny that she had this thought. It wouldn't be long. When he got to West Point, they could meet again. Elena Harper said a few words to Andrew Chen, then got in the military jeep and drove away. That daytime passed especially quickly. In the evening I went to my room early. Started packing my things. Tomorrow morning I would leave here. Go to Yale to enroll. I had done quite a bit of research about the capital and Yale, knowing winters in the capital would be quite cold. So I packed extra warm clothes. When organizing my desk drawer, I accidentally found 2 family photos inside. One was taken when I was very young, before Elena Harper came, with just the 3 of us in the photo. The other was taken 2 years ago with Elena Harper. The family photo went from 3 people to 4, but I only took the 3-person photo and put it in my suitcase. After packing, I went to wash up and sleep. That night I slept very well. A dreamless sleep. The next morning at dawn, I left a letter in the living room, then carried my suitcase and left. Everything was quiet around. Mom and Dad were still sleeping. Before leaving, I looked back at my parents' room. 10,000 words in my heart condensed into one sentence. Mom, Dad, take care of your health. Then I raised my head and walked out of the yard. Half an hour later I was on the train to the capital. In my mind appeared scenes of being driven from the village in my previous life. Struggling in hardship. Like a rat crossing the street everyone wanted to beat. This life I had finally avoided repeating that tragedy. This time I wanted to live for myself. The sunrise slowly rose. I believed what awaited me ahead would definitely be a bright future. The rumbling sound rang out. The train departed. Because I got up a bit early, I was a little sleepy. Half asleep. I felt like I was leaning on someone's shoulder. I immediately woke up completely, looking to the side, and saw a familiar profile. Olivia Summers, why are you here? Olivia Summers tilted her head to look at me. You're awake? Of course I'm going to the capital like you. So you also got into Yale? I was very surprised. Olivia Summers smiled and nodded. So the 2 of us went to Yale together. On the other side, the Mitchell parents woke up as usual. Went to the kitchen to make breakfast. The dishes were set on the table, but I still hadn't gotten up. Mom wiped her hands and went to wake me up, but found the door wasn't closed. She pushed the door open, and found all the things I usually used were gone from the room. The bed was also neatly made and clean. But I wasn't in the room. Mom was startled, immediately saw a letter on the desk. She urgently shouted, Mr. Mitchell, come quickly, your son has disappeared. Dad Mitchell heard and hurried over. What happened? How did he disappear? Just entering, he saw Mom hand him a letter, urging, this is what I found on the desk. You know more characters than me. Quickly open it and look. Robert Mitchell looked down at the envelope. On it was written, Mom and Dad. He quickly opened the letter inside, and saw written on it, Mom and Dad. When you read this letter, I've probably already boarded the train to the capital. I never told you. I received an acceptance letter from Yale, not West Point. I'm sorry I left without saying goodbye. But please don't worry. I'll take care of myself. When I'm settled at Yale, I'll call or write to you. Don't miss me, Lucas. Dad Mitchell finished reading, a flash of surprise in his eyes. Lucas went to Yale. He's already on the train. Mom was stunned. Yale? Not West Point? Elena thought he would go to West Point too. What's wrong with this boy? No, I have to call Elena. She was about to go outside, but was stopped by Robert Mitchell. Lucas has already gone to Yale. Telling Elena now is useless. Lucas said when he's settled. He'll call us. We can ask him then. Mom thought about it and that was all they could do. At the same time, at the West Point unit, Elena Harper, as captain of the elite training camp, was training a group of new recruits. Suddenly she felt her heart panic, feeling like she was losing something very important. Elena Harper frowned. Lucas's image suddenly appeared in her mind. She shook her head. Lucas was about to come to West Point for school. They would meet again soon. How could she lose him? Completely unaware that I had chosen to go to Yale, Elena Harper figured it out, adjusted her state, seriously carried out the training mission. After training, Elena Harper went out shopping. Lucas probably wouldn't bring everything. She thought to buy Lucas some more daily necessities. When she carried a bunch of stuff back to the family quarters, she met the military wife from across the hall. She looked at the things in her hands and said, "Captain Harper, buying so many household items. Is your brother-in-law coming to join the military?" Elena Harper paused, but didn't refute, an inexplicable joy rising in her heart. Day after day passed. Finally it was West Point's opening day. Elena specially asked permission from leadership. Drove to West Point. She stood to one side, eyes constantly scanning the students pouring through the gate, afraid of missing anyone. At that moment she seemed to see a familiar figure. About to step forward, from behind came a surprised voice. "Elena, are you specially waiting here for me?" Elena Harper turned around, seeing Andrew Chen carrying luggage, smiling brightly at her. She looked around, finding only him alone, and asked, "Why are you alone? Didn't Lucas come with you?" Andrew Chen's eyes flashed, surprised. "You don't know? Lucas already went to Yale with Olivia Summers." Elena Harper was completely stunned, her heart like being thrown into a 10,000-foot abyss. Her mind went somewhat blank. How is that possible? Lucas always wanted to attend West Point. Why would he suddenly go? Elena Harper's words abruptly stopped, because she remembered what I had once said. I want to go to Yale to study languages. Become a teacher later. That suits me better. She had always thought that was just Lucas Mitchell joking, angry about her closeness with Andrew Chen. So deliberately saying that, she didn't expect that was actually his real thought. Moreover, he had actually done it, daring to hide it from her. Going to Yale without anyone knowing. Elena Harper couldn't accept this result. She wanted to find Lucas Mitchell and ask clearly. She turned and walked toward the car, but was pulled back by Andrew Chen. "Elena, I just got here, unfamiliar with everything. Can you stay with me?" But before he could finish, Elena Harper had brushed off his hand. "Handle it yourself. I have things to do." With that she got in the car and sped away. Andrew Chen looked at the car, leaving only dust behind, gritting his teeth, very unwilling in his heart. Thinking again, he smiled, turning to walk through West Point's gates. It's fine. Now it's him and Elena Harper who are close. Lucas Mitchell is already far away in the capital. No one can come between him and Elena Harper anymore. Meanwhile, Elena Harper returned to the family quarters, quickly called Phoenix Village's committee. While waiting for Mom or Dad Mitchell to answer the phone, her heart was in chaos, not knowing what kind of answer she wanted, but also knowing no matter what answer she wouldn't be satisfied, because the result she wanted most seemed impossible now. Lost in thought, Mom's voice came through the phone. "Elena, are you settled at your unit?" Elena Harper nodded. "I'm fine, don't worry. I'm calling to ask about Lucas. Did he really go to Yale?" "Yes. That boy left secretly the day after you left, only leaving a letter for his parents." Mom still felt a bit angry about this. Elena Harper's heart sank, asking again, "Has he written back since? Or called?" "Not yet. Your father and I are waiting for news from him. But in a few days there should be news." "Mom, if Lucas leaves a phone number or address, could you please tell me then?" Elena Harper's voice was somewhat suppressed, with a hint of pleading. It sounded a bit strange to Mom, but she didn't think much of it, just nodded. "Okay, I'll tell you then." Elena Harper hung up the phone, her heart feeling drained. To be honest, she never understood. Why did Lucas Mitchell suddenly go to Yale? Didn't he like her? Want to always be by her side? Olivia Summers's face suddenly appeared in her mind. Elena Harper's heart suddenly tightened. Could he really like Olivia Summers? No. These two words appeared in Elena Harper's mind, startling even herself. The feelings buried deep in her heart that even she didn't know about were now breaking through. This made Elena Harper somewhat flustered, but also gradually understanding her true feelings toward Lucas Mitchell. At the same time at Yale, I had finished enrollment procedures. Assigned to dorm 502 in Building 5. Carrying luggage into the empty dorm. I was the earliest. After organizing my suitcase, thinking I should report I was safe to home, I went out to find a phone booth to call. Shortly after connecting, I heard Mom's roar through the receiver. Lucas Mitchell, you're really something. Daring to sneak off to Yale behind your parents' backs. I pulled the receiver away from my ear. After a while brought it back. Mom, I told you before I wanted to go to Yale. Mom immediately continued. Even so you can't just leave. Without saying a word, I was silent for a moment before apologizing. Mom, I'm sorry. Hearing this, Mom wasn't angry anymore. Asking about my situation at Yale. Finally remembering to ask me, can you give Mom a phone number or address so we can contact you if needed? So I gave Mom the address. This was when I entered Yale's gates. Olivia Summers told me, and gave me a phone number. After speaking, I gave Mom the number. We talked a bit more before hanging up. When I returned to the dorm, there were already several people in the room. Seeing me, the male student in the bed next to mine greeted first. Hey, you're the roommate in the bed next to mine, right? I'm Jason Wood. I smiled and nodded. Hi, I'm Lucas Mitchell. The other four also introduced themselves in turn. From then on, room 502 was complete. Jason Wood was a very lively and cheerful guy, and also a local from the capital. He immediately opened up the conversation, telling us about many fun places in the capital. If you have time, I can take you guys around. How about National Day? The others' homes weren't in the capital, but were all quite close. So they all shook their heads, saying they might go home for National Day. Finally, Jason Wood looked at me. You're not going home too, are you? I hesitated a bit, thinking I had come to Yale on my own. Without telling Elena Harper, she would definitely find me to ask clearly. Going home for National Day might really run into her. I didn't really want to see her now. I thought about it and shook my head. I'm not going back for National Day. You can show me around the capital then. Jason Wood smiled and patted my shoulder. Good. Then it's settled. There's a military parade this year. We can go watch then. I nodded. After that, all of us in the room began our Yale life. By tradition, every freshman class had to participate in the freshman welcome party. This time divided by dorm. Each room needed one performance. Except for Jason Wood. Several people were discussing this in the room. Then Jason Wood suddenly burst in. I know what our room can perform. Several pairs of eyes in the room looked at him. We can partner with the girls' room to do a ballroom dance. How about it? As soon as he said it, the others had no objections, because they all knew how to dance. And also knew college students nowadays all liked ballroom dancing. Only I, coming from the countryside, knew nothing. Jason Wood saw me hesitating. You don't know how to dance? It's okay. I can teach you. In the end, I still stubbornly nodded. I came to Yale to improve myself, to have a bright future. So let's start with learning to dance. After that, several people gathered to discuss this. I suddenly thought of a problem. Asking Jason Wood, which girl's room are you partnering with? Jason Wood slapped his head. Right. I almost forgot. If you guys aren't busy, let's go find them. Several people nodded. Just stepping out of the room door, heard someone standing at the hallway entrance shouting, Is Lucas Mitchell from room 502 here? Security has a phone call for you. I was stunned. Someone calling me? Didn't I just call home a few days ago? Could something have happened at home? I immediately got a bit worried, telling Jason Wood, I need to go to security first. I'll find you guys later. Jason Wood nodded. Okay. We'll probably be at the gym or cafeteria. Okay. I nodded, then ran quickly to security. Picked up the receiver beside me and put it to my ear. Mom, Dad. Did something happen at home? Lucas, it's me. Hearing the unexpected but familiar voice from the other end, I was a bit dazed. I didn't expect Elena Harper to contact me so quickly. I was silent for half a day before speaking. On the other end, Elena Harper. Hearing her brother's voice in the receiver, the restless feeling in her heart seemed to dissipate. But thinking of what I had done before, the irritation increased even more. Her voice couldn't help carrying a trace of anger. Lucas, don't you have anything to say to me? The receiver fell silent for a moment. This made Elena Harper somewhat uneasy. Just about to speak again, my voice came through her ear. Everything I wanted to say I've already said to you. Now I'm already at Yale. You don't need to worry about me. You and Andrew Chen just live well together from now on. As soon as the words ended, Elena Harper only felt her heart choke. So you're because of him. She hadn't finished when I cut her off. These things aren't important anymore. Though we're siblings, everyone has their own life. I've now found my life's purpose. You don't need to worry anymore. Hearing my words light as clouds and wind, Elena Harper felt very uncomfortable inside. She could feel the distance the brother on the other end of the phone was putting between them. But she was gradually discovering the concern for him hidden deep in her heart, yet didn't know how to tell him. I heard no sound from the other end, and didn't want to keep dwelling on the past. So I spoke again. I have things to do here. I won't talk anymore. Goodbye. Without waiting for a response from the other end, I hung up first. I stood there steadying my emotions, then turned and left security. Following what Jason Wood had said, I found them at the gym. When I arrived, I just saw them paired up, one male, one female. Already starting to learn, Jason Wood saw me and waved. Lucas, over here. I quickly walked over and introduced myself to the girls. Then Jason Wood said to me, I know you're not good at this, so I saved the best dancer for you. He looked around, pointing toward someone approaching. There, that's her. I looked where he was pointing. A girl in a white dress, hair in a ponytail, slim figure walking over. I immediately recognized it was Olivia Summers. Greeting with a hint of laughter in my voice, it's you. Olivia Summers was also surprised to see me. Then raised an eyebrow. Yeah. We're really fated. Meeting like this. Jason Wood beside us looked back and forth between us several times. You two know each other? I smiled. Yes. We came from the same place. Jason Wood nodded. That's great. Since you know each other, there won't be as much awkwardness learning. Then looking at Olivia Summers. Lucas is in your hands then. Olivia Summers nodded. Don't worry. After Jason Wood went to practice on the side, I finally spoke up a bit shyly. Olivia Summers, I really don't know how to dance at all. Olivia Summers reassured me. It's okay. Don't feel pressured. Just leave it to me. Next, Olivia Summers took my hand to teach me ballroom dancing. She raised her hand. Put your hand on mine. Then just follow my steps. Olivia Summers held my hand, leading me forward and back. Then told me to raise my hand, while Olivia Summers herself spun several turns following the momentum. At that moment my foot tripped, losing control of my body again, my whole body falling backward to the ground. I cried out thinking I would hit the ground, fearfully closing my eyes tight. But after waiting a moment with no pain in my body, Olivia Summers's teasing voice came to my ear. How long do you want me to hold you? I suddenly opened my eyes, finding Olivia Summers had caught me with her arms, preventing me from falling. Meeting Olivia Summers's laughing eyes, my ears suddenly turned red. I hurriedly steadied myself and gently pushed her away. Olivia Summers withdrew her hands. It's fine. Let's continue. I nodded. This time I walked more carefully, fortunately not falling again. I breathed a sigh of relief. Olivia Summers beside me saw this. Couldn't help laughing. You don't need to be so tense. Dancing is supposed to be fun. You should relax and enjoy it. I nodded. Got it. I'll try. Then Jason Wood came over asking, how's the learning going? Olivia Summers saw I didn't know how to answer, so she said, don't worry. With me here we won't hold everyone back. I'm not worried about that at all. Lucas, don't feel pressured. Jason Wood looked at me and said, I waved lightly to show I understood. Today's almost done. Let's go eat. After Jason Wood finished speaking, he called the others to go to the cafeteria together. While eating, Jason Wood suddenly thought of something and asked me, "Lucas, was that a family member calling you earlier?" My chopsticks paused. It was my sister. You have a sister? How old? Where is she now? Jason Wood's curiosity rose, pulling me to ask nonstop. I was a bit tired of dealing with it, and didn't want to keep mentioning things about Elena Harper. Sitting across, Olivia Summers noticed my expression, quickly changed the subject. Lucas, the freshman welcome party is in a few days. You need to practice hard. You can find me anytime. I'm in Building 1, Room 401. Seeing Olivia Summers intervene, Jason Wood didn't ask more about Elena Harper. I breathed a sigh of relief. Immediately responded, "Okay, after dinner. If you're not busy, teach me some more." Olivia Summers glanced at me. Sure. After that the others all had other things to do and left. I followed Olivia Summers back to the gym to learn dancing. Time passed bit by bit. In a blink it was the freshman welcome evening. When it was our turn on stage, I suddenly felt a bit nervous. Olivia Summers standing beside me leaned in. "Don't be scared. I'm here. If you're really nervous, when dancing don't look at the audience. Just feel like we're in the gym." I took a deep breath. Okay. During the performance I followed Olivia Summers's rhythm, moving forward and back, spinning my whole body. We coordinated perfectly. When I gradually relaxed, I accidentally swept across the audience. Pitch black full of people. My heart immediately panicked. My steps became chaotic, and I accidentally stepped on Olivia Summers's foot. Olivia Summers sensed my tension, quickly pulled me close, placed my hand on her waist, while her hand went around my neck, her head spinning with my momentum. "Follow me, it's almost over." We were so close. I could even feel her breath. This made my heart race. My face immediately red as an apple. Not until thunderous applause rose from below the stage. Everyone left the stage together. The red on my face still hadn't faded. Jason Wood looked at me strangely, asking, "Lucas, why is your face so red?" "It's not because Olivia Summers spun in front of you at the end, is it?" I was a bit flustered, lowering my head without speaking. Olivia Summers beside me also smiled without speaking. The freshman welcome party went smoothly. Because of dancing together, Olivia Summers and I formed a deep friendship across dorms. After that everyone focused on studying. Each day besides classes, most time was spent in the library. I often ran into Olivia Summers, and we gradually became closer. After a long time, many people said we were dating. Even Jason Wood came to ask, "Lucas, are you and Olivia really together?" I was startled hearing this, quickly shaking my head. "No. We just often meet at the library. Don't talk nonsense." But hearing Jason Wood say this, thinking about others, must be misunderstanding even more. The next day meeting Olivia Summers at the library, I always kept my distance, and unlike before during breaks, didn't listen to her talk about aviation. Olivia Summers majored in aerospace. Olivia Summers immediately felt something was off with me. Thinking of the rumors going around, she looked at me, saying softly, "Lucas, don't mind how others look at us. Even if we were dating, it's not their business." I knew that was true. But the shadow from my previous life I still remembered clearly. In my previous life it was because of false rumors. That ruined my whole life. Now, I didn't want to fall into that whirlpool again. I thought about it and told Olivia Summers, "I'll study in the dorm from now on." Olivia Summers was stunned, looking at me frowning, wanting to say something, but ultimately said nothing. She noticed I seemed very concerned about romantic matters. After that, we deliberately reduced contact. After some time, the idle talk finally stopped. I also breathed a sigh of relief, immersing myself more in studying. Time flowed like water. Before I knew it, National Day arrived. The others in the room all went home, leaving just Jason Wood and me. Jason Wood said to me, "There's a military parade this National Day. Let's go watch together." Sure. National Day military parades don't happen every year. The last one was 5 years ago. Now that I'm in the capital, I definitely have to go see it. We agreed. Just leaving the school gate we ran into Olivia Summers. She was a bit surprised seeing me. You're not going home? Where are you going? Before I could speak, Jason Wood already answered first. We're going to watch the military parade at the National Mall. Perfect timing, me too. Let's go together. She looked at me, as if afraid I'd refuse. I nodded, then got in Olivia Summers's Lamborghini with Jason Wood. When we arrived at the National Mall it was already packed. Jason Wood and I looked at each other. Our eyes saying what now? Follow me. Can't see anything from here, Olivia Summers said, then led us elsewhere. When I stood in the front row able to see the whole parade, I looked at Olivia Summers in disbelief, suddenly remembering hearing at school before that her grandfather seemed to be a military official in the capital. No wonder she could find such good spots. Jason Wood was stunned. Olivia Summers. Who exactly are you? How can you find such good spots? Olivia Summers brushed it off. It's nothing, the parade is about to start. I noticed beside me, Jason Wood's gaze at Olivia Summers had changed, mixed with something else. I was a bit confused, but didn't think much of it. Turning my attention to the military parade, with the ceremonial cannons firing, the National Mall began echoing with the sound of perfectly synchronized footsteps. Row after row passed before our eyes. Watching their spirited, high morale appearance, I was deeply moved, my heart surging with emotion. Another unit of soldiers in blue uniforms approached. I watched intently. Suddenly my gaze fixed on a heroic figure leading at the front. My heart skipped, eyes widening more, watching that familiar figure march past in perfect step. It was her, Elena Harper. She had come to the capital and was participating in the military parade. My thoughts became somewhat chaotic for a moment, my eyes carrying a hint of confusion. Lucas, are you listening to me? Feeling my body being gently pushed, I immediately came back to look at Jason Wood. What were you thinking about? I said, I'm a bit thirsty. Let's go buy some water. Okay, I nodded. Looking up, I met Olivia Summers's somewhat scrutinizing eyes. Olivia Summers had also seen Elena Harper, and she immediately noticed something was off with my expression. Back in Phoenix Village, she had already felt this pair of siblings was somewhat unusual. Olivia Summers frowned, but didn't rush to ask me. After all, it was my private matter. But her heart always felt somewhat uncomfortable. The three of us returned to school after watching the parade. After Jason Wood and I got out and thanked Olivia Summers, we watched her drive away. About to return to the dorm, I suddenly heard Jason Wood beside me say, Lucas, I've decided to pursue Olivia Summers. Hearing this, I almost tripped over my own feet, staring at Jason Wood in shock. It took me a long time to make a sound. What did you say? Jason Wood excitedly pulled me. Lucas, I've discovered I seem to like Olivia Summers. I want to write her a love letter. Will you help me? You have the best grades in our literature department. Help me write a love poem, so I can give it to Olivia Summers, okay? After speaking, Jason Wood pulled me running quickly back to the dorm. I still hadn't reacted, already sitting at the desk in the room, a pen stuffed in my hand, a blank sheet of paper placed on the desk. I finally reacted, quickly putting down the pen to refuse. I can't do this. Don't ask me. Jason Wood saw I really didn't want to. Backed down a step. Then I'll write it myself. After I write it you help me look at it, is that okay? I reluctantly nodded. At that moment there was a knock on the door. I quickly stood up to open it. Seemed to be someone from next door. He said to me, Are you Lucas Mitchell? Someone's looking for you at the dorm gate. Go check it out. I was stunned. I didn't know anyone in the capital. Who would come here looking for me? Suddenly in my mind appeared a familiar figure in military uniform. Could it be her? Had she found me so quickly? I took a deep breath. These things had to be faced sooner or later. Better to make things clear early. After speaking, everyone could go their separate ways peacefully. I told Jason Wood, then went to the school gate. Elena Harper saw me from afar. She saw me wearing a crisp white shirt, my whole body radiating youthful energy. Lucas Mitchell seemed no longer the one from Phoenix Village, who always followed behind her, calling her his sister. Elena Harper's eyes darkened, her heart feeling suffocated. I looked at the somewhat haggard woman before me, opening my mouth to call, "Sis." Elena Harper smiled, speaking. "Lucas, I have some things to say to you. Let's find somewhere to sit?" I nodded, then led her to a small park not far from school. We sat on cool stone benches, neither speaking. Elena Harper thought, since last time he hung up on her, her heart felt like being pricked by needles, constantly throbbing with dense pain. Her mind was full of him, but she didn't know what to do. She had thought about coming to the capital to find him, but didn't know what to say to him. Later, West Point conducted freshman military training. She was assigned as commander-in-chief. During that time, Andrew Chen constantly surrounded her. Before in Phoenix Village, she hadn't thought much of it. After all, she had agreed to meet him. But when Andrew Chen naturally called himself her fiancé, for the first time she felt very uncomfortable. Also, for the first time having thoughts of not wanting to marry Andrew Chen. She deliberately distanced herself from Andrew Chen. He noticed, accusingly asking her, "Elena, I feel you're distancing yourself from me. Aren't we engaged?" Elena Harper was silent for a long time before saying, "Andrew, about our marriage, I think we need to reconsider." "Why?" Andrew Chen demanded. "I know I've wronged you, but I've made my decision." Elena Harper didn't want to drag it out anymore, because she was gradually understanding who she truly cared about in her heart. Andrew Chen looked at her expression, suddenly speaking. "Is it because of Lucas Mitchell?" Elena Harper was silent. Andrew Chen laughed coldly. "He's your brother. You two are impossible. Besides, he's already gone to the capital. Do you think he'll turn back?" Hearing his tone, Elena Harper felt he was hiding something. "Are you hiding something from me? Do you know why he suddenly went to Yale?" "So what if I know? You two could never be together anyway. I was helping you both." Elena Harper completely understood this time. Lucas Mitchell's sudden distance from her definitely had something to do with Andrew Chen. She looked at Andrew Chen with ice-cold eyes. "What exactly did you do?" "I just told everyone about him, confessing to you. But what really broke his heart was you wanting to meet with me. He thought you and I were on the same side." As soon as the words ended, Elena Harper's breath stopped. So that was it. That's why he confessed one day, then apologized to her the next, telling her not to take it to heart, then later saying he wanted to attend Yale. She had misunderstood him, and also betrayed his sincerity. Now that she knew her own heart, she thought she could apologize to him, even thought as long as he didn't abandon her, she could ignore society and stay by his side forever. Later, returning to the unit, learning she would represent the unit, going to the capital for the military parade. She was too excited to sleep. She even applied to the unit to stay at the Capital Military District for training. For half a year, I sat beside Elena Harper, who hadn't said a word, completely lost in her own thoughts. I didn't want to waste time with her here, so I spoke. "If you have nothing to say, I'll go back first." One sentence immediately brought Elena Harper back. She quickly grabbed me as I was about to stand. "Don't go, Lucas." I was stunned by Elena Harper's lingering tone, as if I were her lover. I shook my head, dismissing this unrealistic thought. Looking at Elena Harper, "What exactly do you want to say to me?" Elena Harper looked at the boy who had grown up before her. She herself never expected to develop such feelings. If she had known earlier, perhaps when he confessed, she wouldn't have refused so decisively, and wouldn't have agreed to meet Andrew Chen. Now that she understood her heart, perhaps it wasn't too late. "Lucas, everything before was my fault. Now I know my true feelings. I like you too." But before she could finish, she saw me suddenly stand up, disbelief in my eyes, along with unmistakable mockery. Elena Harper's remaining words immediately stuck in her throat, unable to come out. After a long time, Elena Harper finally found her voice. "Lucas, everything I'm saying is sincere. I've thought it through carefully. As long as I can be with you, it took me a long time to suppress the overwhelming emotions in my heart." Directly cutting off her words, "No need I've already let go. From now on you're just my sister. Besides, don't forget, you and Andrew Chen are supposed to marry at the end of the year. Elena Harper quickly explained. I've already made it clear to him. And I'll explain to Mom and Dad too. You don't need to feel burdened. Looking at Elena Harper's earnest promise before me, for the first time I doubted my own eyes. Everything Elena Harper did seemed to only think of herself. Thinking she didn't like me, so she carelessly rejected me, even not allowing me to like her. And meeting Andrew Chen right in front of me. Now that I've left her, she discovers she likes me. Then without hesitation discards Andrew Chen. Just like she initially discarded me for Andrew Chen. Suddenly I felt particularly uncomfortable inside. Looking at Elena Harper, I spoke clearly. Word by word. I'll say it one more time. Right now between you and me there's only family affection, no other feelings. As for you and Andrew Chen, I don't care. I have things to do, I'm leaving first. After speaking, not wanting to deal with Elena Harper anymore, I turned to leave. After just one step, Elena Harper pulled me back. I know you're speaking in anger. I wronged you before. I'll make it up to you doubly from now on. I couldn't help rolling my eyes, doubting whether Elena Harper couldn't understand plain language. I didn't want to talk anymore. Pulling my hand away and walking forward. In Elena Harper's eyes, I was still angry inside. Deliberately throwing a tantrum at her. She smiled indulgently and chased after. Lucas. I've applied to study at the Capital Military District for half a year. I'll come find you when I'm free. We can meet often. I felt somewhat uncomfortable inside. Really not understanding what Elena Harper was thinking. When I liked her she rejected me in every way possible. When I finally gave up and didn't want to look back, she eagerly rushed over. This change left me physically and mentally exhausted, not knowing how to respond. At Yale's gate, I said to Elena Harper, "You should go. I need to go in." Without waiting for Elena Harper to speak, I turned and went inside. But after just a few steps I was pulled back by a force. I was losing patience, turning to say, "What else do you?" But when I saw clearly who was behind me, I was somewhat surprised. Andrew Chen. Before I could react, smack, a sound, a heavy punch landed on my face. Lucas Mitchell, you piece of trash. Do Yale's teachers and students know how despicable you are? Seducing someone else's fiancé? Andrew Chen deliberately spoke very loudly. Students and teachers coming and going around all heard. Everyone stopped to look this way. I immediately saw red with anger. The suffocating feeling of being slandered from my previous life rushed back. I steadied my mind, trying to defend myself. Andrew Chen, stop slandering me. I can report you to the education department. Don't end up losing your student status. Andrew Chen suddenly became more arrogant, starting to shout. Everyone look. He's clearly the one seducing my fiancé. And now he's hitting me, threatening me to keep quiet. Elena Harper screamed and ran over quickly. If looks could kill, Andrew Chen would have died thousands of times already. At this moment she was filled with extreme regret. How could she have misjudged someone so badly, thinking he was a good person? Elena Harper shielded me behind her, saying softly to me, "Why don't you go inside first? I'll handle this." I shook my head. If I leave now, the slander on my head will never be cleared. Andrew Chen, seeing Elena Harper protect me, full of jealousy inside, spoke even more recklessly. Elena Harper, I'm your fiancé, yet you're protecting him. People around started whispering and gossiping, pointing at Elena Harper and me. My face went pale. Absolutely couldn't let Andrew Chen continue. I worked so hard to get into Yale. Absolutely couldn't let him ruin it again. Before I could speak, suddenly a familiar voice came to my ear. Brother-in-law. Look clearly. That's Lucas, your fiancé's brother, not your imaginary enemy. I was stunned and turned to look. It was Olivia Summers walking over. Then she stood beside me, greeting Elena Harper. Sister Elena, you're here too. Then she looked at me. Seeing the red swelling on my face, anger immediately flashed in her eyes. Who hit you? Lucas Mitchell. Don't you know how to fight back? She said while painfully reaching to touch my face. Elena Harper frowned watching this scene, instinctively raising her hand to stop. Olivia Summers smoothly leaned close to her, quickly saying, "Take that man away quickly. Do you want Lucas Mitchell expelled from Yale?" Elena Harper paused, looked at me, immediately pulling the unprepared Andrew Chen into the Jeep. After they left, Olivia Summers said again, "Everyone don't mind this. That man is Lucas's brother-in-law. He has some mental issues. Because Lucas and his sister have a good relationship, he often sees him as an imaginary enemy." Then she pulled me into the school. From when Olivia Summers called Andrew Chen brother-in-law, I had been stunned. Not until feeling slight pain on my face did I come back, thinking of what just happened. Looking at the girl beside me, I opened my mouth to thank you for helping me just now. "Is there medicine in your room? Your face needs immediate treatment." Olivia Summers still frowned tightly. I nodded. Olivia Summers said no more, and we walked toward dorm building 5. Only then did I realize Olivia Summers seemed somewhat angry. I tentatively asked, "Are you angry?" Olivia Summers looked at my innocent, clueless appearance. The fire in her heart rose another level. "Are you made of clay? When someone hits you, don't you know to hit back? And that honest sister or whatever. I can only say your taste is really bad. Standing beside you and couldn't even protect you." The more Olivia Summers spoke, the more fire seemed to shoot from her eyes. I was startled. "How do you know about me?" And I didn't finish. But I believed Olivia Summers understood. About Olivia Summers knowing this, I didn't expect it. "I have eyes that can see," Olivia Summers said unhappily. "I could tell something was unusual between you two back in Phoenix Village. That's all in the past. From now on she's just my sister." I quickly explained myself. Olivia Summers was stunned, staring at me intently, looking until I felt somewhat scared inside, just thinking of what to say. Olivia Summers suddenly leaned close to me, her voice carrying a hint of enchantment. "Since it's in the past, do you want to date me?" I stood frozen with my mouth agape looking at her. We looked at each other, neither breaking eye contact, until a complicated voice came from beside us. "What are you two doing?" Jason Wood had been in his room writing a love letter, when he suddenly heard from a roommate next door that I was being slandered at the school gate. He immediately dropped his pen and ran out of the room, only to see on the ground floor me and Olivia Summers standing very close, looking at each other, seemingly yearning for one another. His heart immediately sank, speaking up to interrupt our gaze. I immediately came back to my senses, quickly pushing Olivia Summers away and looking at Jason Wood, thinking of what Jason Wood had said before. I hurriedly explained, "Jason, it's not what you think." Before I could finish, Olivia Summers cut me off. "Why do you need to explain to him?" I immediately lost color in my face. Jason Wood stepped forward, staring intently at Olivia Summers. "Because he knows I like you. I want to date you." As soon as the words ended, I immediately felt Olivia Summers's gaze piercing into me like needles, making me afraid to look at her. Just as I was thinking of finding an excuse to escape, suddenly a male student approached. "Lucas Mitchell, the teacher wants you at the Academic Affairs office." I was startled, immediately understanding. It was about what had just happened at the school gate. Although the rumor was dispelled by Olivia Summers's few words, as the nation's top university, they still needed to understand the whole situation. "I'll go with you," Olivia Summers immediately said. Jason Wood beside us watched this scene, his eyes somewhat dark, but also said, "I'll come too." With that, the group went to the Academic Affairs office. I went into the office alone. Olivia Summers and Jason Wood waited outside. Jason Wood looked at Olivia Summers beside him, asking, "Do you like Lucas?" Olivia Summers turned to glance at him, not speaking but nodding. "But I can see Lucas doesn't feel that way about you," Jason Wood continued. Olivia Summers frowned, then curved her lips. "I know. But just because he doesn't now doesn't mean he won't later. I'm confident." Jason Wood was silent for a long time, before speaking again. "I can tell. You're from an official's family. Not ordinary people. Even if you and Lucas get together, would your family in the future agree to you marrying an ordinary male student?" Olivia Summers looked at Jason Wood, her eyes carrying a hint of scrutiny. "So you're saying You don't truly like me. You're interested in the family background behind me? She looked at Jason Wood's ordinary clothes, knowing he should be like her. Jason Wood lowered his eyes. Sorry. Olivia Summers cut off his words. My family doesn't discriminate by class. As long as I like someone. As long as he's a good man. My family won't object. Thinking about it, she added, if you don't want to. You can refuse. This is the modern era now. Not the feudal society of the past. Jason Wood suddenly looked up at Olivia Summers, his eyes carrying a desire to break free from constraints. Can he really refuse? At that moment I came out of the academic affairs office. Olivia Summers stepped forward worriedly asking, how did it go? They didn't give you trouble, did they? My expression was relaxed, smiling and shaking my head. No. I explained everything clearly. Thinking for a moment, I added, moreover, I'm preparing to write a complaint letter to West Point. Andrew Chen slandered me. I won't let him off. Good. Olivia Summers supported. Then I looked at Jason Wood beside us, who was deep in thought. Stepping forward to push him. Jason, what's wrong? We can go now. Let's go. Jason Wood immediately came back to his senses. Back in the room, I saw Jason Wood looking lost, thinking he was still thinking about what just happened between Olivia Summers and me. He quickly explained, Jason, what happened between Olivia Summers and me just now wasn't what you. Before I could finish, Jason Wood cut me off. Lucas, I'm sorry. I deceived you. What? I was a bit confused. When I said I wanted to pursue Olivia Summers, it wasn't because I liked her, but because of the family background behind her. Jason Wood looked at me, his mood somewhat confused and lost. I pulled up a chair to sit beside him. My voice gentle. It's okay. Tell me slowly. From Jason Wood's mouth I learned. Turns out his father was a general in the capital military district, who had strongly oppressed him since childhood, constantly instilling the idea that he could only marry an official's daughter in the future. Even his ability to attend Yale took a lot of effort to gain a little freedom. So when he learned Olivia Summers had a similar family background, he suddenly said he wanted to pursue her. I didn't expect Jason Wood, who seemed so lively and cheerful, carefree about everything, was also hiding so many troubles. Jason, what I want to say is this is the modern era. Everyone has the right to autonomous marriage. If you don't want to, you can negotiate with your family. Your life is yours. You can be your own master. Don't let anyone influence you. This was also the truth I realized after experiencing the tragedy of my previous life. Jason Wood looked at me, suddenly saying, no wonder Olivia Summers likes you. She said the same thing to me. I was stunned. How could? The words on my lips were cut off by Jason Wood suddenly reaching out to hug me. His voice carried a hint of choking. Lucas. Thank you. I know what to do now. I also raised my hand to pat his back. After a while he calmed down. Jason Wood pushed me away. Though his eyes were a bit red, his face was smiling again. I just breathed a sigh of relief when I heard him say, Lucas, you really don't like Olivia Summers? I haven't thought about it. Right now I just want to focus on studying. I had loved Elena Harper for so many years, with such a dismal outcome. Now whether I like someone or not isn't very important to me anymore. I just want to enrich my knowledge and experience to secure a bright future for myself. The last few days of National Day holiday, Jason Wood took me around many places in the capital. Most of the time Olivia Summers also joined. As for Elena Harper and Andrew Chen, they didn't appear during this time. I don't know how Elena Harper dealt with Andrew Chen, but it has nothing to do with me anymore. A few days after National Day ended, I resumed my daily library routine. This time Olivia Summers was still there, but I didn't avoid her like before. Because once I denied it, what happened at the school gate before would probably be brought up again. But I felt I should make things clear with Olivia Summers. So I found a free moment to tell her, Olivia Summers, about how everyone always misunderstands us. If you find it troublesome. I frowned, not having thought of what to do yet. So I got stuck. I couldn't think of a good solution for now either. Olivia Summers looked at my conflicted appearance and sighed. I was the one who said those words that day on my own. I was worried you'd mind. Besides, you giving me the chance to stand by your side. I'm very happy. I saw the affection in her eyes. Pursing my lips. I might not be able to right now. But still, thank you. I understand, it's okay. I'll keep trying. I believe you'll change your mind. Olivia Summers said confidently. I didn't know what else to say. Could only remain silent. With everything clear between us, we seemed even happier. Time passed bit by bit in studying. Half a month later, carrying books on my way to the library, I suddenly saw a roommate run over saying, "Lucas, I just went to security to answer a phone call. Saw a woman in military uniform looking for you." I nodded. "Okay, I'll go right away." With that I walked toward the gate. I thought it must be Elena Harper, probably coming to discuss what happened with Andrew Chen. But when I got to the gate I didn't see Elena Harper. It was a strange woman in military uniform. I stopped and walked toward her. "I'm Lucas Mitchell. Are you looking for me?" The strange woman immediately nodded. "Yes. Captain Harper asked me to bring you to see her." I asked doubtfully. "Why didn't she come herself?" "Captain Harper is in the hospital." "What happened to her? Why is she in the hospital?" "The specifics. Let the captain tell you herself." "Do you have time now?" I thought for a moment. No classes later. So I nodded. Following to the hospital. Peace Hospital. When I pushed open the door to the hospital room, I saw Elena Harper lying face down on the bed with her eyes closed resting. Hearing the noise she opened her eyes, seeing it was me. A flash of joy passed through Elena Harper's eyes. She quickly sat up, but touched the wound on her back, causing her to frown tightly in pain. I quickly stepped forward to support her arm, looking closely at the wound on her back, feeling like I'd been struck. "Sis, you're injured." Elena Harper gripped my hand tightly. "Lucas, from now on no one can stop us from being together. Can you give me another chance?" I showed surprise. Just about to speak, Elena Harper continued. "I've broken off the engagement with Andrew Chen, and made it clear to Mom and Dad. They don't object to us anymore." I stared wide-eyed at Elena Harper, taking a long time to make a sound. "Sis, you told Mom and Dad? About us?" Elena Harper squeezed my hand tighter. "I know you still have reservations because I rejected you before. So I've borne all the consequences. Just hoping you'll forgive me. Lucas, I really do like you. So this injury really was from being beaten?" I muttered to myself, suddenly feeling my mind go somewhat blank. The person who once rejected me, sternly affirming she would only ever be my sister, in the blink of an eye had confronted our parents about everything. But I had already let go, and didn't need her love anymore. So everything she did didn't move me much. I just didn't know what to do. Even more, a deep sadness welled up from within. In my previous life I had also fought like Elena Harper, arguing in front of our parents. But what awaited me was being kicked out of the house, drifting for a lifetime. But when it was Elena Harper's turn, they let go and even gave their blessing. And no one asked for my opinion in between. At this moment I only felt cold throughout my body. Elena Harper watched me remain silent, the joy in her heart gradually replaced by unease. She stared at me intently. "Lucas, aren't you happy? From now on we..." Her words were cut off before she could finish. I had hidden all emotion in my eyes, asking in a cold voice, "What did you tell them? That made them not even call me?" Elena Harper meticulously recounted everything that happened. It turned out that day, Elena Harper had taken Andrew Chen away from Yale's gate, bringing him back to West Point. During that time my complaint letter also arrived there. After verification, Andrew Chen was expelled from West Point, directly shocking Phoenix Village. Even his parents came to the Mitchell house to cause trouble. Elena Harper returned in time, revealing the whole truth. Andrew Chen completely collapsed, pointing directly at Elena Harper in front of everyone saying, "Elena Harper, dare you say you have no selfish motives? Using me as an excuse just to cover up that you and he can't." "Shut up, Andrew Chen, you know very well who's responsible for this outcome." Elena Harper angrily cut off his words. "Furthermore, whatever happens between Lucas and me, That's the Mitchell family's business. It has nothing to do with you. Moreover, if you dare speak, I'm not afraid to admit it. I can even talk about what happened between you and that senior girl. Andrew Chen looked at Elena Harper's warning eyes. Feeling guilty. She knew about that too. At West Point there was a senior who liked him. And since Elena Harper hadn't responded to him for so long, he went to the senior for comfort. Even the train ticket to the capital last time was paid for by the senior. In the end, Andrew Chen still didn't say anything excessive. And not long after, he was sent to his grandmother's house. Several days' journey from Phoenix Village. After dealing with Andrew Chen, Elena Harper was straightforward with the Mitchell parents. At that time she knelt down directly, startling the couple. Elena, what are you doing? Mom, Dad, I have something to tell you. You might find it hard to accept, but these are my sincere words. The parents were full of doubt. What is it? Just say it. Mom, Dad, I'm sorry. I've betrayed your trust. Lucas and I aren't just family. I like him. That one sentence was like a bomb dropped on the Mitchell parents. After that, as you can imagine, Elena Harper knelt for a day and a night. But in the end they said nothing more, telling her to stand up. Elena Harper knew though they didn't agree. They weren't objecting anymore either. After Elena Harper finished telling the story, I didn't know what I felt inside. Though Elena Harper had done so much, I no longer wanted to look back. I looked at Elena Harper and spoke. Let me tell you a story too. Doubt flashed in Elena Harper's eyes. More was unease. She had thought as long as she dealt with Andrew Chen, then passed the parents' test, I would have no psychological barriers, and would definitely happily reconcile with her. But from beginning to end, there wasn't a single smile on my face. Elena Harper's heart was restless and uneasy. The void called fear in her heart growing ever larger. I didn't need Elena Harper to respond either, and began telling the story myself. I told her everything I experienced in my previous life, from when I hopefully confessed my feelings, to when I died alone in a foreign land. After I finished, I closed my eyes, bit by bit suppressing the overwhelming emotions in my heart. Looking at Elena Harper, my eyes gentle and calm. Sis, I'm sorry. I've already let you go. From now on we're just siblings. Elena Harper's heart immediately felt like a huge hammer had carved out a big hole. Even her lips went pale. Lucas, I was foolish before, not recognizing my own heart. I'll change from now on. Can we start over? At this moment my thoughts carried a hint of faint sorrow. If Elena Harper had said these words to me in my previous life, would I not have faced the drifting life that followed? In my previous life Elena Harper didn't love me. Now she says she wants to be with me. Is this a common human ailment? Always stirring for what we can't have. But if that's really the case, I truly feel unworthy for my previous self. This life I definitely won't walk the old path again. But I don't care about these things anymore. Having decided to move forward, there's no need to be entangled with the past anymore. Thinking it through, I said to Elena Harper, you should rest. I'll come visit you later. With that I turned to leave. But Elena Harper pulled me back again. Lucas, will you give me up just because of a story? I stopped, my voice carrying a hint of bleakness. What if I said it wasn't a story, but something I actually experienced? With that I pulled free from Elena Harper's hand, leaving the hospital room without looking back. Elena Harper watched my retreating figure, her heart aching indescribably. Everything had been arranged so well. Why did she still lose him? She wasn't willing to accept it and didn't want to give up. Lucas had liked her so much before. How could he just give up like that? And that story. Though Elena Harper felt somewhat uneasy inside, she didn't believe in ghosts and superstitions. The urgent matter now was to heal properly. Lucas had a soft heart. If she devoted herself wholeheartedly to him, she could definitely change his mind. On the other side, after leaving the hospital I didn't immediately return to school, but found a public phone booth to call home. This time Robert Mitchell answered. Both of us were silent for a long time. I spoke first. Dad, how are you and Mom? After a while, Robert Mitchell's voice came through. Your mother is sick, but it's nothing serious. Don't worry. I immediately felt somewhat bitter. I knew Elena Harper telling them about that. Our parents wouldn't easily accept it. I just didn't understand why they compromised. But I still wanted to make my thoughts clear. To them. Dad, I'm sorry about me and. But before I could finish, Robert Mitchell cut me off. Your affairs. Your mother and I won't interfere anymore. Even if you don't come back, it's fine. We can take care of ourselves. Hearing Robert Mitchell's poor and tired voice, I couldn't help asking, Mom, Dad, why didn't you object? Robert Mitchell was silent for a while before saying, that day when I first saw Elena like that, it reminded me of her biological father. I feel guilty inside. I see. Dad, listen to me. When I first told you I would only see her as a sister from then on, I meant it sincerely. That's also the main reason I insisted on going to Yale. As soon as the words ended, the other side immediately fell silent. Lucas. Tell me clearly. What exactly are you and Elena thinking? Robert Mitchell's voice on the other side also got louder. Dad. I've already made it clear to her. We'll forever only be family. I'm carrying an unchangeable determination. But Elena, Dad, you and Mom just need to take care of yourselves. This is our business. We can resolve it ourselves. I won't come back this National Day. But I promise we'll both come back for New Year. Finally, Robert Mitchell said nothing more. Just answering. Okay. Hanging up the phone, I thought of Elena Harper. Hoping she wouldn't be stubborn. No matter what, I didn't want our parents to worry about me anymore. When I returned to school, it was already afternoon. Arriving at the dorm building, I saw Olivia Summers pacing back and forth downstairs. I walked over. Olivia Summers. You. Before I could finish, she cut me off. Her voice full of urgency and worry. Where did you go? Do you know I've been worried about you all afternoon? Sorry, I had an urgent matter at the hospital. I obediently apologized and explained. You went to the hospital? What's wrong? Are you sick? Olivia Summers scanned me up and down. I shook my head. Not me. My sister. Olivia Summers was stunned. She's still in the capital and hasn't left? She applied to study at the military district here. Probably staying for another half year. After Olivia Summers heard this, her expression became even worse. And she said nothing more. I sensed her emotions, but didn't know how to respond. After thinking, I spoke. From now on, wherever I go, I'll let you know. Olivia Summers's eyes brightened, nodding. Then I'll go up first. Tomorrow afternoon there's no class, I'll be at the library. I added. I have one class in the afternoon. I'll find you a bit later. Olivia Summers immediately agreed. She watched me go upstairs. Her mood immediately improving, though I hadn't expressed acceptance of her yet. She could feel. It wasn't that I had no feelings for her. Sooner or later she would win Lucas over. Back in the room, everyone was there, but the bed next to mine was empty. I asked another roommate, hasn't Jason come back? The roommate said, he seems to have gone home after class. I nodded, thinking there must be some urgent family matter. Didn't think much of it. Took my book and sat at the desk to read. In the evening, after simply washing up, I went to bed. At the same time, at the military hospital, Elena Harper was already asleep. But sleeping restlessly. She seemed to be dreaming. Dreaming that Lucas Mitchell confessed to her. And she rejected him. The next day she went to the West Point unit. While Lucas Mitchell failed the exam, didn't get into college, the matter of him confessing to her also spread everywhere. Mom got sick because of Lucas. She rushed back at night. But when she returned, Lucas had been kicked out of the house. Gone who knows where. Though Mom said she kicked him out in anger. Elena Harper knew Mom was just speaking in anger. Wouldn't really kick her only son out of the house. Elena Harper also thought after a few days, Lucas would come back on his own. But day after day, year after year, they never saw Lucas Mitchell return. Mom died with regret, and she too, in endless longing, discovered her true feelings. But the boy she had protected since childhood never came back again. From then on, Elena Harper felt her heart was forever missing a piece, never to be filled. This feeling of desolation and fear made Elena Harper suddenly wake up. She was breathing heavily, her mind repeating over and over what had just happened in the dream. That scene was too real. as if she had truly experienced it. Elena Harper suddenly remembered the story Lucas had told her during the day. Exactly the same as her dream. What if I said these were all my experiences? Lucas's words flashed through her mind. Elena Harper's eyes were full of shocked waves. So it was because he had experienced it. That's why the day after confessing, he immediately apologized to her, told her not to mind, and said he wanted to go to Yale, giving up West Point, which was closest to her. The more she thought, the more Elena Harper's head hurt. She frowned tightly. Memories that didn't belong to her kept crashing into her brain. It took a long time to stop. This time the memories in her mind were even clearer. So Lucas really had experienced 2 lifetimes. The clearer the memories from the previous life, the more Elena Harper's heart ached. No wonder Lucas had distanced himself from her since the college entrance exam. When she expressed her feelings, he wasn't moved at all, even rejecting her. Lucas dying in a foreign land in his previous life ultimately had to do with her. Not to mention Lucas, knowing the truth herself now, she clearly knew whether they could be together or not. Thinking this, Elena Harper immediately felt pain like being cut by knives. Looking at the moonlight outside, Elena Harper could no longer sleep. On the other side, I knew nothing about this. Sleeping very soundly. The next day I went to class with my roommates, but still didn't see Jason Wood. Doubt flashed in my eyes. Seems Jason Wood encountered something serious. Since school started he'd never missed class. This time not even a shadow of him. By noon still no sign of Jason Wood. I even went back to check the room, he hadn't returned. Immediately I had a bad feeling. Sitting in the library reading, I couldn't concentrate. Olivia Summers waited for me an hour. Seeing me like this, asked softly, "What are you thinking about? You haven't turned a page in ages." I came back to myself looking at Olivia Summers. "You're here. Haven't seen Jason all day. And he didn't come to class. I'm a bit worried." "Don't worry. He's not a child." Before she could finish, 2 girls nearby were whispering. That male student just now was so pitiful. Worked so hard to get into Yale. But his father is making him drop out. Right, it's the modern era now. Still using that. Establishing a family and career early is the right path to deceive people. That male student seems to be from the literature department. What's his name? Seems to be Wood. Hearing this I suddenly stood up, startling the 2 girls. I asked them, "Where is the person you just mentioned?" "Probably at the academic affairs office." After hearing this I ran out frantically. Olivia Summers grabbed the books I hadn't packed up, holding them in her hands, and chased after me. The library was quite far from the academic affairs office. Passing through the main gate on the way. As I ran past the gate, Olivia Summers behind me pulled me back. "They're over there." I stopped and turned to look, only seeing Jason Wood being dragged by a tall man into a car parked nearby. I quickly ran over shouting, "Jason!" but still couldn't keep him. By the time I ran to the school gate, the car left only a trail of smoke. I stood there stunned, my heart immediately sinking to the bottom. I asked Olivia Summers beside me, "Will I see him again?" Olivia Summers was silent, she didn't know either. I only paused for a moment, then still walked toward the teacher's office building. "Where are you going?" "I'm going to find the teacher. The teacher must have Jason's home address." After taking just one step, Olivia Summers stopped me again. "You want to go to his house?" But when meeting my determined eyes, the rest of her words immediately disappeared. "Fine, I'll go with you." The corner of my mouth lifted in a smile. Getting the address from the teacher, we immediately went to Jason Wood's house. Getting out of the car looking at the courtyard house before us, I took a deep breath and stepped forward to knock. It took a while before someone came to open it. The courtyard door opened. I saw a middle-aged woman who somewhat resembled Jason Wood. "Hello, I'm Lucas Mitchell, Jason's classmate. Are you his mother?" The middle-aged woman nodded, looking at me somewhat warily. I wore a gentle smile. "Ma'am." I heard. Before I could finish, Jason Wood's stubborn voice came from inside the house. "Go ahead and beat me. If you have the guts, beat me to death. Otherwise I'll definitely keep going to school. And leave this suffocating house." The middle-aged woman hearing this no longer cared about us. Running inside crying. Don't hit him. He's our only son. Are you trying to kill me? Olivia Summers and I looked at each other. Also following through the door. Just entering the room, we saw a middle-aged man. Angrily holding a rattan cane. Whipping Jason Wood. I didn't think twice. Directly running over to shield him. Olivia Summers went pale with fear. Lucas. Father Wood saw a white shadow flash before his eyes. Thinking it was his wife. Quickly pulled back the cane's force. Originally wanting to scold a few words. But saw standing before him was a male student. About his son's age. A stranger. He frowned. Who are you? Why are you in my house? Jason Wood also looked in shock at the male student shielding him. Lucas. Why are you here? I saw the cane didn't hit me. Also breaking out in cold sweat all over. Hello sir, I'm Lucas Mitchell. Jason's classmate. Our Jason won't be going to school anymore. Naturally has no classmates. You should leave, and don't come again. Father Wood directly ordered us to leave. But I didn't move, just calmly asked, Sir, may I ask why? I sent him to school so he'd be obedient. Not to rebel against me. Since he hasn't learned obedience. What's the point of studying? Dad, do you want me to get married that badly? I've said, in the future even relying on myself. I can live well. Why won't you believe me? Jason Wood argued. Everyone has to get married. I'm having you marry early. To someone of equal social standing. All for your own good. I listened to the father-son dialogue. Understanding the crux. Father Wood actually loved his son too. Just his thinking was stuck in old times. I looked at Father Wood smiling. Sir, I know you love your son. Wanting him to marry is also wanting security for his future life. But is early marriage the way out? Must marriage be between equal social standings? What if after marriage the other party doesn't treat Jason well? What then? Who dares bully my son? Father Wood said sternly. There are injuries the eyes can't see. Compared to marriage, we should be more self-reliant and self-strengthening. Able to control our own lives. Isn't this better than marriage? After speaking, the room fell silent. Everyone looked at me. Father Wood looked at me thoughtfully. Complexity flashing in his eyes. Sir. Actually, you don't need to make Jason drop out. You can let him continue school. See how he performs later. If he shows he can live well. Without depending on anyone. Then whether he marries or not. Whether he marries someone of equal standing. Won't matter much anymore. Father Wood laughed coldly. I finally know. Why Jason suddenly dares defy me. Turns out he learned it all from you. So what, you're never getting married? Do your parents agree? I shook my head, smiling to explain. Sir, you've misunderstood me. It's not about not marrying. I also hope to have a family. But I won't place all my hopes on marriage. Compared to others, isn't oneself the most reliable? Father Wood fell silent, lost in thought. Jason Wood, seeing his father wavering, quickly stepped forward, coaxing. Dad, just trust me. I promise you, I'll definitely live well in the future. Father Wood finally sighed, saying nothing more. Jason Wood also finally breathed a sigh of relief. Looking at me with a smile. Leaving the Woods' courtyard house. Jason Wood hugged me tightly. Lucas. Thank you so much. From now on you're my friend for life. I also smiled, patting his back. Then heard him, ouch, crying in pain. What's wrong? Jason Wood explained. Though you blocked my father's cane just now. Yesterday I angered him. Really took a beating. Still hurts a bit now. I frowned. Then should we go to the hospital for medicine before returning to school? Your re-enrollment procedures aren't urgent right now. Don't worry, my withdrawal procedures aren't complete yet. I just need to go straight back to class. That's good. Then let's go to the hospital now. Olivia Summers beside us finally got a word in. Yes, Olivia. Thank you today too. Jason Wood looked at Olivia Summers smiling with squinted eyes. Olivia Summers waved, indicating not to worry about it. After that the three of us went to Peace Hospital together. While waiting for the nurse to apply medicine to Jason Wood, Olivia Summers pulled me aside. Her voice very stern. Lucas Mitchell. When that cane was raised just now, why did you rush over to shield him? Do you have a death wish? I felt somewhat wronged. I don't know either. It really was a conditioned reflex rushing over. Olivia Summers was angry. You're really going to be the death of me. I softly nodded. I know. I won't do that again. Seeing me so obedient, Olivia Summers's heart softened like water. Wanting to say something more, a familiar voice interjected. Lucas. Olivia Summers and I looked together. It was Elena Harper standing not far away looking at us. Seeing me intimate with another girl. And it was the girl already known from Phoenix Village. Elena Harper felt very uncomfortable inside, wishing she could step forward and separate us. But since having that dream yesterday, she knew she no longer had that right. Elena Harper walked close to me, asking, "Why are you at the hospital? Are you sick?" "No, my friend is injured," I answered. Elena Harper nodded. "Lucas, let's find somewhere to talk." Seeing the hesitation in my eyes, Elena Harper's heart ached deeply, adding another sentence. "It's about the story you told yesterday. I have something to say." I was stunned. What did she mean by that? Could she also remember things from the previous life? I followed Elena Harper to the pavilion outside the hospital. "What do you want to say to me?" Elena Harper looked at me intently, taking a long time to speak. "Lucas, I'm sorry. I've remembered things from the previous life, ruining your whole life because of me. I'm so sorry." For some reason, hearing these words, my eyes immediately reddened. It seemed everything experienced in the previous life had been waiting for this moment. Elena Harper, seeing my reddened eyes, felt somewhat flustered. "Lucas, don't cry. I was wrong. Your sister was wrong. Can you forgive me?" Hearing Elena Harper call herself sister, I was stunned again. "Lucas, knowing about the previous life, I know we're impossible now. But don't distance yourself from me afterward. Can I be your sister forever?" Meeting Elena Harper's warm eyes, for a moment, it seemed the sister who doted on me before had returned. I curved my lips in a smile. "Okay. You'll always be my sister." Elena Harper curved her lips, but endless bitterness rose in her heart. She carefully raised her hand, approaching, patting my head like before. I didn't refuse either, the resentment from my previous life gradually releasing in my heart. The past is past. The future will be better. But this scene of us making things clear, seen by Olivia Summers not far away, made her think I was still turning back to accept Elena Harper. Seeing the smiles on both our faces, she felt extremely lost inside, yet also felt a trace of anger. Angry that I still didn't know to repent. Afraid I'd fall into the whirlpool of public opinion again. Seeing them walking over side by side, Olivia Summers couldn't help herself, stepping forward to look at me. "I have something to say to you." I was stunned. Hearing her tone wasn't good. Tilting my head to look at Elena Harper. "Then I'll go first." Elena Harper nodded, pain flashing in her eyes. But looking in Olivia Summers's eyes, she thought I had to report even small matters to Elena Harper. She got even angrier. Elena Harper watched the two walk away one after another, infinite desolation in her heart, standing there for a long time, before telling the soldier behind her, "Let's go back to the military district." On the other side, I followed Olivia Summers to the end corner of the hallway. Looking at Olivia Summers's dark face, I asked, puzzled, "What's wrong with you? Why so angry? You're getting involved with that sister again." I was stunned, immediately understanding what she was angry about, suddenly feeling that originally hard place in my heart collapse a piece. I raised an eyebrow. "You're angry about this? What do you think? Have you forgotten what happened at the school gate before?" Olivia Summers was really too angry to bear, her eyes revealing restlessness, staring at me, her voice also revealing extreme disappointment. "Can't you look at me a little? Why do you still want to repeat the mistake of choosing her?" I looked at her face full of sorrow. Couldn't bear to tease her anymore. "You misunderstood. I didn't choose her." Olivia Summers was still immersed in sorrow, thinking whether to fulfill them, or fight for Lucas back according to her wishes. Suddenly my gentle voice rang in her ear, making Olivia Summers pause. Then infinite joy burst from her eyes. "What did you say? You didn't accept her? Just now we just made things clear. No matter what, she'll always be my sister." Olivia Summers felt revived. completely relieved. At this moment, she extremely clearly knew she couldn't do without Lucas. So she stepped forward. In front of me, eyes burning. Lucas, I really like you. Can you give me a chance to be with you? I looked at the girl before me. Scenes of us together appearing in my mind. My heart became extremely soft, thinking I wasn't without feelings for Olivia Summers. Just because I'd given so much to Elena Harper before, without getting a worthy response. I was scared. Now I'd let go of the past. With the person who'd always been good to me before me. Perhaps I should grasp this fate. My ears and face all reddened as I finally nodded. Olivia Summers's eyes brightened, too happy to speak. Lucas, you're agreeing, right? I bravely met Olivia Summers's eyes directly, nodding heavily. Olivia Summers's expression was moved, but her hands still carried exploration. Taking my hands hanging at my sides, holding both my hands in her palms, Olivia Summers felt extremely satisfied inside. Lucas, I'll definitely treat you well from now on. Olivia Summers and I stood together, intimately talking for a while. I pulled my hands back telling her, let's go. Jason should be done with the medicine. Olivia Summers nodded, the smile on her face never diminishing. Just as we reached the examination room door, we saw Jason Wood coming out from inside. I stepped forward supporting his arm. How is it? Nothing serious? Jason Wood shook his head. It's fine. The three of us walked out of the hospital together, getting in the car waiting for Jason Wood to sit in back, as before leaving space for me. But Olivia Summers opened the front passenger door. Jason Wood was stunned, looking back and forth between us constantly. You two, did something happen I don't know about? I felt somewhat embarrassed, quickly sitting in the back seat. Jason and I will sit in back. Olivia Summers raised an eyebrow but didn't insist. Closing the door and getting in the driver's seat. Driving away from the hospital. On the way, Jason Wood wouldn't let me off, leaning close to my ear asking, tell me, what's going on with you two? What do you mean? There's nothing between us. I played innocent, my expression pure and guiltless. Stop pretending. You accepted her confession, didn't you? Jason Wood directly exposed my lie. I actually wasn't planning to hide it. Just felt a bit embarrassed. Seeing Jason Wood say it out loud, I wasn't embarrassed anymore. Nodding in admission. Great, she finally got her wish. Jason Wood teased with a smile. Thinking of something, he said to Olivia Summers in the driver's seat, Olivia, you've gotten your wish. Shouldn't you treat us to dinner? Olivia Summers nodded. Sure. We'll call our roommates then. We chose a restaurant, not far from Yale. Jason Wood was responsible for contacting the others. Half an hour later, everyone gradually arrived. Olivia Summers's roommate just sat down, asking Olivia Summers, girl, what's happening today? Why suddenly treat us to dinner? Making it so formal? Of course our Olivia has good news to announce. Jason Wood said with a smile. What good news? Tell us quickly. A curious female friend also spoke up. Ask those two. Jason Wood pointed at Olivia Summers and me sitting together. I was stared at by several pairs of eyes, feeling somewhat unnatural. Olivia Summers's face was also a bit red, her hand under the table secretly reaching over, holding my hand and gently squeezing. All right. Today's meal is to announce something. That Lucas and I are officially dating. Great job, girl. Finally caught him. Great. A perfect match. Remember to invite us to the wedding banquet when you get married. Hearing everyone's blessings, I unconsciously revealed happiness. Time passed day by day like this. The weather had also entered winter. On the road meeting Jason Wood just returning from the school gate. Lucas, your sister came looking for you again. She's at the school gate now. Because Elena Harper had come to Yale several times. Jason Wood knew her. I nodded. Okay, I know. Why is she here again? Are soldiers so idle nowadays? Olivia Summers beside me rolled her eyes, muttering quietly. I glanced at her, somewhat amused. Why don't you go to the library first? I'll go and come right back. I'll go with you. I nodded. We went to the school gate together. Elena Harper seeing me, a trace of smile flashed in her eyes. But seeing the girl beside me, the smile gradually faded. Sis. What are you looking for me about? Elena Harper suppressed the bitterness in her heart. Smiling. I thought in a few days. You'll probably have break to go home. I can't go back until the end of the year. So I came to let you know. Also wanted to ask when exactly you have break. I'll buy train tickets for you in advance. I calculated. About to speak. Olivia Summers beside me spoke first. No need. I'll go back with Lucas. Of course we'll buy tickets together. Elena Harper glanced at Olivia Summers. Then lowered her eyes. Taking a long time to speak. That's good too. You going back together I can rest easy. Actually Elena Harper wanted to stay with me a while longer. But knew it wasn't appropriate anymore. Speaking up. I should go. You two go in. I nodded. Then drive safely. With that, Olivia Summers and I turned to enter the school gate. Elena Harper watched the two walking side by side. The girl leaning to the male student's ear saying something unknown. His lips curving in a beautiful arc. She felt full of bitterness. If not for that one wrong thought at the beginning. Wouldn't the one standing beside him now be her? Too bad what's done is done. Time won't turn back. After exams Olivia Summers and I returned to Phoenix Village. Still in that white Lamborghini. Parked at the Mitchell house door. As I was about to get out, Olivia Summers held my hand somewhat reluctantly. What if I come in with you to visit your parents? I immediately shook my head. No. We agreed, let me tell my family first. Then you can come. Olivia Summers compromised. Fine then. But her hand wouldn't let go. Just as I was about to say something to comfort her. Suddenly heard Mom's voice from outside the car. Lucas. I was startled, quickly turning to meet my parents' eyes. At this moment I really wished I could burrow into the ground. I couldn't help turning to glare at Olivia Summers. Olivia Summers also didn't expect to be caught red-handed. But also comforted me. We quickly got out of the car. I stepped forward hugging my parents. Mom, Dad. I'm back. Olivia Summers also greeted. Hello Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell. We've met before. I'm Olivia Summers. Mom looked back and forth between us, her expression not good. I didn't even dare breathe hard. After a long time Mom finally spoke to Olivia Summers. I know you're Lucas's classmate. Thank you for bringing him home. It's so cold. You should hurry home too. Olivia Summers. Thought they would ask about her and me. Didn't expect them to directly send her home. She was immediately somewhat flustered. I was also stunned. Then reacted signaling Olivia Summers to leave first. Olivia Summers had no choice. Could only drive away first. Inside the house, my parents talked with me about everyday things. Before asking about Olivia Summers. Are you and that Olivia Summers dating? I knew I couldn't hide it, and didn't plan to, so I nodded. Then what about Elena, that girl? I quickly answered. She knows. Our relationship is very good now. Mom and Dad don't need to worry anymore. Hearing this, the couple finally breathed a sigh of relief. After that I followed my parents shopping for New Year goods. Cleaning the house. Occasionally meeting up with Olivia Summers outside. Just like that in a blink it was New Year's Eve. Didn't Elena say she'd come back today? It's evening and still no sign of her? Mom stood at the door constantly watching. Mom, don't worry. If she said she'd come back she definitely will. Mom, sis is back. As I spoke a jeep drove up from afar. Stopping at our door, Elena Harper got out. Seeing Mom and me quickly walking over. Mom, Lucas, I'm back. Good that you're back. I was afraid you wouldn't make it for the reunion dinner. I also said with a smile. The three of us went inside together. The reunion dinner on the table was ready. The family of 4 happily gathered together. Eating the reunion meal. We even drank a few glasses. Dad couldn't hold his liquor. Was helped to rest by Mom first. Elena Harper's face also had a hint of drunkenness. Half leaning her head against the chair. I asked softly. Sis, are you drunk too? Elena Harper shook her head indicating she wasn't drunk. She looked at the boy's features before her. Restraining the urge to lean down and kiss. Lucas, I never asked you, are you happy now? I answered, of course. I'm living very happily now. Elena Harper nodded. That's good. Then standing up. Come on. I bought some firecrackers. Let's go set them off together. Great. I followed to the yard. Holding sparklers happily waving them in the air. Elena Harper watched her brother's bright smile. Her lips slowly curving up. This is fine. Being a sister standing beside her brother. Perhaps this is already heaven's greatest kindness to her. Sweet ending.